Now, let me break it down for you a little bit more in depth. Christina, she's been active. She understands health. She understands the human body. But like most people, when stressful times come up, sometimes we reach for a little bit more food. We're not as active. We don't sleep as well. And in many cases, we go through these different time periods in life, and that's when unhealthy habits really take hold. And then we slowly gain weight, and all of a sudden we look and we've gained a significant amount. And so when Christina reached out, she knew a lot about training, she knew a lot about health, but she really needed the support and the accountability to get dialed in to really make a permanent long-term transformation. Because she realized it's not just about her, it's about what she represents. It's about showing up as somebody who's healthy and fit to the people that she helps, to the people that she works with, and for her family. And so before Christina started working with us, she was a nurse. She gained some weight during COVID when stress was sky high. She wasn't getting a whole lot of sleep, not well rested, and when you're in that environment, you're surrounded by, unhealthy foods that a lot of times give you that quick sugar rush and energy, but are not as healthy as they need to be. And then when sleep is at a minimum and when you don't have a whole lot of time, well, guess what? Training goes out the window as well. So even when she would get in the gym, she would hit it hard for a couple weeks, things would get crazy, and then she would have no consistency. And that's where so many people struggle. They know what to do, but actually implementing a plan that flows with their life versus something that creates more friction becomes a huge struggle. In addition, when she'd actually get time off, she didn't have the balance with her social life. She'd like to go out, have a good time, have a good meal, have a drink or two, but she didn't have a sustainable way to be able to do so and then stay on track long term. And so what we focused on specifically, number one, we focused on getting her internal health and her gut health into a much better position. When we do this, when your gut is going to be healthier, you can assimilate, break down nutrients, all of that stuff exponentially more effectively. Much of your immune system is also based in your gut. So when your gut is off because of, foods that you're eating, alcohol, the lack of sleep and high levels of stress, well, that's going to impact whether you stay sick. It's going to impact your actual ability to recover from training, and it's going to impact your ability to actually break down and use the nutrients that you are taking in. So getting that internal health dialed in is absolutely crucial. As we started getting more progress in the gym, I eliminated all the guesswork. So when she walked in the gym, she knew exactly what she needed to do. And she didn't have to think about it. She didn't have to scroll through her phone, go on Instagram and find different workout plans. She had something that was handcrafted directly to her schedule, to her specific gym, and to her body. And that's really the key element. While there might be consistencies that need to be taken with each and every single program, the differences really come through the nuance, the exercise selection, the way that we execute things, rest periods, and all of those details that most people simply overlook. And that's what really keeps a lot of people from knowing what to do to actually getting the result that they are looking for. Next, we took her focus from just burning calories and looking at her Apple Watch and seeing how many calories she was burning during a training session to actually building lean muscle. You see, most trackers are off by as much as 90%. You can check out this research on this from the University of Stanford. It's alarming. Now, I'm not saying all are off by 90%, but that range is 30 to 90%, meaning you could go in thinking you're burning a ton of calories in a workout and you're way off. Consciously, many people will start to eat those calories back. Subconsciously, people will start to justify different food decisions thinking that they burned a lot more calories than they actually did. And when we couple that with the fact that most people dramatically undertrack how many calories they're consuming throughout the day, well, guess what? Then we have the perfect formula for feeling like we're doing everything right, but not actually making progress because the data that we're acting on is incomplete at best. So we focused on building lean muscle because by extension of that, we're able to support better insulin sensitivity. Her body can break down those foods more effectively, build lean muscle, which by extension also boosted her metabolism, which for most people, when they stop training consistently, they lose lean muscle, they replace it with fat, the scale stays the same, but they look different. And so that's not what we want to happen for you. And then finally, what we did is we focused on a sustainable lifestyle change. What are the habits that she could build? How could she be able to go out and enjoy her social life so she had an approach to fitness that improved her life versus one that consumed it? And so we go through a step-by-step process when working with all of our clients. And number one is we have to improve internal health and jumpstart fat loss. A lot of people want to tone up and or build muscle / lose body fat at the same time. But if we straddle too many things at once, we send our body conflicting signals. And so what we focus on is, yes, we train hard. So by extension, you can build and maintain some lean muscle, but we want to make sure we're in that calorie deficit. So by extension of that, we can lose body fat because once you're leaner, your body can actually more effectively break down the food that you'll need to build that lean muscle, to build those curves, all of those different components, but do so without gaining body fat. So number one, let's get leaner. Number two, 2, what we focus on is not crash dieting. And this is what we call our metabolic priming method, right? We can focus on a calorie deficit for a while, but over time, what we need to do is we need to occasionally bring calories up and then back down. Otherwise, your metabolism can actually downregulate. You burn fewer calories for the same amount of exercise, run into issues with things like your thyroid. And that's when people diet hard, eat at a calorie deficit for months or years, and wonder why they're not losing weight, because they've actually cooled the body down and it's no longer effectively burning as many calories as they think it is. Your metabolism is not something that's stagnant. 2,000 calories being a deficit won't always be a deficit for you, particularly if you're eating directly below that for a long period of time. Your body's going to adapt because it's trying to keep you healthy. It's trying to, keep basic bodily functions at a high level. Third phase that we focus on is then making sure we're getting stronger. When you're getting stronger and building that lean tissue, that's what supports long-term metabolic health. It's what supports bone health, joint health, all of those things directly. But we have to do it intelligently. And if we start to increase those calories, we have to do it slowly so you build lean muscle, not add more body fat. And then phase 4, the most important aspect here is long-term sustainable habit change. If we don't change the underlying habits that are leading people to get out of shape, then what happens? Well, they backslide. And that's why over 90% of people who lose even 10% of their body weight think somebody losing 20 pounds if they weigh 200 pounds. That's why they backslide, because they don't change the underlying habits. And that's particularly what we focus on with our coaching. Now, some of the key elements that we focus on here directly and getting a little bit more granular is what we call synergy, right? We need to have the right balance between the way that you work out with your training, your nutrition, and then your lifestyle and accountability. You can have the perfect nutrition plan, but if you're not training correctly, it's not going to work. You can have the perfect nutrition plan and training plan, but if you're inconsistent because you don't have accountability, also, it's not going to work. And same thing, you could be training perfectly and doing it really consistently, but if your nutrition isn't in alignment with your goals or what your metabolic and hormone function really needs, then you are going to run into issues. And so we eliminate the guesswork by taking care of all of those elements together. So you have a program that's built on data and science and your body, not just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks. And so what we focus on the training side is strategic strength training. No, it's not burning as many calories as possible. It's about building a handcrafted program where your workouts actually support optimal health and build that lean muscle so you can improve your metabolism and keep weight off sustainably. We eliminate all the guesswork across the board on what you need to do. Consider me, consider my team, your personal trainer in your pocket. Number 2, the metabolic reboot nutrition system. First, we want to get you leaner. We want to get you healthier. When that internal health is improved by highlighting exactly what to eat, when to eat, and eliminating that guesswork, then your body's going to be able to function so much more effectively across the board. Ultimately, a huge belief that we teach and that we really instill across the board is if your nutrition is not sustainable, your results will not be maintainable. So we have to fit these things into your life directly. As a personal example, I'm a husband, I'm a father. I like to have ice cream dates with my daughter on Wednesday. We do pizza night on Friday and typically a date one day on weekends, right? So I can fit in things like pizza, tacos, steak, alcohol, ice cream. These can all be part of a healthy lifestyle, but we have to have a plan and a strategy for doing them most effectively. And then, of course, as I was talking about with the synergy before, it's how do we integrate all of these components, right? If more information was the answer, and we can find so much information on social media these days, then we'd all have six-packs and Ferraris by now. But the reality is what we need is we need the right information at the right time. We need something that really flows with our life, not against it. Because when we do get healthier, when we get leaner, when we get more confident, fitness is something that is a force multiplier in everything else in our life. When we're more confident, we show up better in our relationships. When we're more confident and have more energy, we show up better as a parent. We show up with better brain function at work. And so this isn't just about how we look in the mirror and looking great naked, even though that's obviously important and is catchy. It's about how does getting healthier, how does getting more fit improve everything else in your life. And that's really the key element that we focus on. And to make this as specific for you as we can, we focus on data. And when I talk about things being truly handcrafted, we incorporate things like blood work, lab work, looking at the data in terms of body weight, nutrition, all of these different things so you don't have to. Right? When we have clear-cut data, we can make decisions based on data, not based on feelings. And when we do that, that helps us find the true root cause that might be preventing you from having the body that you want and building the sustainable habits and the lifestyle that you need in order to keep it. And so we support you each and every single day, each and every single week with education, with calls, with access, with check-ins, all of these things that you need in order to succeed. Now, you might be wondering, hey, I've probably tried some different things before. Maybe they haven't worked. I totally understand that. Personally, I've been a coach since 2009. I've been online since 2012. And we focus on not just helping our clients get results now, but understanding why, understanding how, understanding the key principles so they can take this information and get sustainable long-term progress, because that's what it's all about. But because of that, we also fully guarantee what we do. You see, if you show up, if you do the work, the workouts, the nutrition, you're doing the accountability and checking in, we expect it to work. And if it's not, well, you deserve to have that protection and to be able to get your money back. And so we have a full money back guarantee. So if you do the work and you do not get results, you do not pay. Who do we serve? Who works with us? We have a ton of wonderful clients, people who are generally parents, who are high performers, who have been in shape before. Some have never been in shape. What we want to do is help educate you so you have the tools and the strategies needed to be able to create a permanent transformation. We're here to eliminate the guesswork. We're here to get rid of some of the bullshit that's out there and give you a clear-cut plan to execute. So you walk into the gym each and every single day and you know what to do. You know that when you put that effort in the gym, you can be confident in the plan, that your body's going to be taken care of, that your health is going to be improving. And we're here to guide you every step of the way when life gets complicated and sometimes it gets harder. Because when those hard times come up, that's when we build the skill set that we need in order to create that permanent long-term transformation. So if this seems like something that would be a great fit for you, what I would recommend is pulling up your phone right now and scanning this QR code. That's going to take you to an application for our coaching. And the one thing I will say here is if you made it through this video, this is obviously hitting home for you. You've probably tried things that haven't worked, right? And you might be wondering, is this going to be something different? Is this going to be something that works for me? Well, guess what? Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it and let's break down these strategies one by one and make sure that our Look Great Naked protocol is here to help you permanently transform your life. Ultimately, if nothing changes, and you might be wondering about things like cost, which we'll cover on a call, but one thing I will tell you, there is a cost to staying the same. There's time. There's wasted money on things that haven't worked, that don't come with a guarantee, and there's a headspace of trying over and over again and not getting the results that you should for as hard as you're working. And it's time to end that. It's time for you to get the body that you need and find a long-term sustainable approach where you can look great naked and sustainably do so without living in the gym or obsessing over food. All right, I will see you soon. Please check out that QR code, and if you have any questions, drop them below.